Josh, where's the campsite? It's coming up just ahead over there.
Are you scared of the dark?
Absolutely. Yeah. But I'm with my friends. I'm okay.
Field of Geeks presents
The Super Unknown.
I'm Josh.
I'm Juan.
Oh, I was going to be a gentleman and let Steph go, but I'm Dave.
I'm
That's
Stephanie.
Nice
It's very kind of you.
That's very nice of you, Dave.
Very nice, very nice.
I'm nothing
Everybody.
if not a gentleman.
Yes.
Sorry.
You are very much
Absolutely. Of the pact. Yeah, you are the gentleman of the group, that's for sure. But yeah, my wife's joining us again. It's been a while, but I'm happy to have her on. And
Welcome back.
yeah,
Thanks.
yay!
Yay.
Yay.
So we talked about the Bermuda Triangle last time. So keeping with that theme of the ocean, let's say, we're going to talk about
Cruise ships. What do most people think about when they hear the word cruise? Like, what do you guys think about when you hear that word?
Vacation.
I would probably have to say like stomach issues.
Well, let's think of good things. What do you think of that's good?
free food.
Relaxation. Food.
Is food free?
Well, yeah, it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
included. All you can
Yeah.
get usually, yeah.
All you
Yeah,
can
so
eat
it's
daily.
basically just like a floating resort.
Yeah, like it's a little city that everything's free. Most of us don't first think of murder and disappearances, suicide, corruption, getting sick, all that's kind of just in the back of,
Sex trafficking.
yeah, like none of that's really thought about.
No, it's
Matt
all about
Gaetz.
fun.
What was that?
Matt Gaetz.
Gates.
Politicians is in
He's
trouble.
Okay.
You said sex trafficking, and then that made me think of Matt Gates.
Ding, 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 ding.
Today we're going to take a deep dive into the mysteries behind the cruise industry. There's a lot of things that people don't know behind the scenes, not just deaths and disappearance. Let's say the toilets. I mean,
Yeah.
apparently when people decide they don't want to take something home with them, they flush it down the toilet. Towels.
Wow.
I mean, there's the obvious.
Well, when in Rome,
Towels. Pool noodles apparently have been flushed down toilets. So
Oh my gosh.
if you're on a cruise ship,
What?
yeah,
What happened? What?
like pool noodles.
Shut up. A pool noodle?
Yeah. Well,
mistresses.
How did they get it down there?
well,
How big are these toilets?
Did they chop
apparently
it
they
up?
have like the suction system. It's not like our toilets on land. They have like I don't know.
Would it
like
be
a
similar to the
torpedo, I
airplane?
guess.
Or the airplane?
Yeah,
I've never
yeah.
been on an airplane, but you guys tell me you've probably flown. So yeah, there's a suction system, right? In the
Yeah, it's like a jet.
Yeah.
Six
So-
wheel.
Yeah, it's like when you flush the toilet, it sounds like it's just opening a hole to the outside of the plane. It's like,
Right.
and everything
exactly.
just gets sucked out, and you're like, whoa.
And apparently
Sorry,
that's
bird.
the same
Sorry,
way
bird.
on a cruise ship. The average cruise ship actually produces 140 to 210,000 gallons of sewage per week, and all that goes directly into the ocean. Anybody want to go swimming?
Gross.
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty nasty.
That's why they have
Yeah.
pools on cruises. So you don't want to get in the ocean. So
I don't. Yeah. I mean, you could fall over, I guess.
yeah. Well, people have, or maybe had assistance with going over.
Exactly. Likewise, there has been some nasty viruses. About 130,000 guests contracted a gastrointestinal illness between 2008 and 2014. So over a 6-year period, 130,000 guests were sick on a cruise ship because of, storage of food is not as easy. The amount of time you're on the cruise ship is the amount of time the food has been on that cruise ship also. So if you think about it, it might not be the freshest of items.
Yes, and sometimes the freezer gets company, right?
Yeah, so all cruise ships do have morgues. But they usually only have room for like 1 to 2 bodies. If they happen to be full, then the freezers get the bodies. So, I mean, most of the time that's probably not going to happen, but
Right next to the chicken
I
strips.
guess it depends how many people die that time. Speaking of how many people die, according to some past employees, they say that they see at least 3 deaths a month, but others say it's more like 3 deaths per week. So, I mean, obviously a lot of cruise ships cater to elderly and older people, so it's not always sinister activities that cause these deaths. It could just be old age, natural causes. But that's quite a lot of deaths per week on a cruise ship, in my opinion. Josh,
Good
didn't
Lord.
you find some information about the amount of alcohol and things that were...
Yeah, for like
Consumed?
a world cruise, let's say. So mostly retired people, unless you have 90 to 120 days of vacation time. Yeah, they'll consume 840 bottles of vodka, 312 bottles of gin, and 285 bottles of scotch.
So basically a couple bottles a day.
Yeah. So that's always a good mix,
Yeah.
alcohol in general when you're on a cruise ship that can be up to 16 stories tall, 150 feet, let's say. Over 150 feet. Pretty insane.
Well, yeah, and you mentioned how tall they are, but how deep do they go? Wasn't it like they're as deep under, like the depth of a cruise ship is the same as the height of the cruise ship?
Yes.
So you're saying that a 16-story tall cruise ship, that means it goes into the ocean 16
According to what I
stories
found,
down?
yeah.
I don't know how that would be really said, but amazing, because that actually kind of tells you how big the ocean is, how deep it is.
Right.
I know you talked about that last time on you.
Oh yeah, I mean that's the other insane part. Like, yeah, you're talking, maybe 30,000 feet. Some spots. I think that's what we talked about last time. Some of the depth
No,
there.
it's stupid deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I mean, I just when you see a cruise ship docked, I guess you don't think that right there at the dock that it is that the ocean is that deep. I guess I don't know. I just
something to think about.
Yeah, like
a
it
lot
didn't
of people
really
don't.
come into mind until you read that, and I was like, holy crap! Like if you fell off the dock, good luck, right?
Yeah, I mean that's just like why it's a perfect way to murder somebody,
Yeah.
or for someone to disappear, even because when you dock somewhere, you could easily leave. Like that's happened. Yeah, it's just insane. Most crew members sleep below the sea as well.
They do.
In the ships.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes the kitchens are below the sea.
Yeah, most everything is below deck, I guess, as you would say. Have you guys ever been on a cruise?
No, I haven't.
Yes.
What was your experience like, Juan?
It was awesome.
Yeah?
I went to
Big party.
the Bahamas
Ooh.
with my girlfriend at the time. Every other summer, my family on my mother's side does a cruise due to one of my aunts who has she's a travel agent. But
Nice.
my girlfriend at the time, she was like, "Hey, honey, you want to get a balcony? It's only $30 more." And I was like, "Sure, why not?" Best investment ever. If you ever go on a cruise, get a balcony.
Did you get seasick at all? I mean, does it rock much, or is it pretty stable?
It's almost like takes a moment for you to get your land leg, or you get your sea legs. I
Yes,
guess.
I imagine.
But it's not that bad. It's just like, I think I'm so aware. I think alcohol helps.
Yeah.
I really
sure.
do. I think it really helps because you're walking like that naturally. And so when you actually hit dry land and you're like walking on land again, it's like your legs and your body's like recalibrating in a weird way.
Right.
You feel drunk when you're walking sober on land?
Yeah, it's just weird. Your body's like recalibrating, so you're almost like shifted to one side and you're trying to go back to the other side.
Yeah. That's crazy.
But the balcony part is very important because I went to my aunt's room. She had that little window that they have on the Love Boat.
Yeah.
You know, the little window. And it felt very claustrophobic.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, mine was like you can open up the door, you can see the sea. We would sit out there and like, cause it doesn't even matter what time of day it is. So it'd be like maybe midnight, and we're sitting out there, just you can see the moon bounce off the water and stuff, the ocean. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, very romantic, I bet.
Yeah, it was very nice.
Yeah.
There's cruises that go all out. There's like a Disney one, I think, where they do it like Disneyland, and they have fireworks and all types of stuff supposedly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, cruises, they seem like the perfect vacation getaway, you know? Like, there's so many activities. It's not just swimming or whatever. Like, it's not just casinos. Like, there's so much stuff on a cruise. It's like a little city.
And you
on a
travel
ship.
as you relax.
Yeah,
you don't
and
have any pressure to...
You get to stop at ports and, like, do little excursions, day trips, whatever, and then get back on and enjoy your
I mean, mostly it goes well, but
yeah,
there's
it's usually great times, right?
there's certain cases where people end up missing, and unfortunately you really can't ever solve it because the ocean's pretty big, so you know, it's terrifying.
I know, Josh, you have some numbers on how many people went missing or murdered.
Oh yeah, let's see.
Like
Sorry.
300 people. I have some too, but mine isn't as big as his because I just did like over a 5-year period. According to cruisejunkie.com, which is a website that actually keeps track of deaths and missing people based on cruises. 70 people have went missing or been found dead in the last 5 years, not related to natural causes. So that's quite a lot. There's actually been 3 already this year. Last year they only had 1 reported, but it was a pandemic, and also I believe that number is a lot lower than it should be.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I mean, because we'll probably get into it, but it's basically its own country when you board a cruise ship. It's like international waters. If any crimes are committed, they usually don't cooperate too well.
There's
and
no
it's
police.
kind of their rules,
Yeah.
really. So, those numbers could easily be fabricated to
They're
make them look better than they really are.
They're supposed to, like, cruise ships are supposed to report, like, deaths and disappearances and all that. However, most of them don't, or if they do, because, like, family or whatever gets involved, they like to pretend that nothing happened. I have several cases, several known cases, that has happened with. Crime Zone on YouTube covered 5 well-known cases, including Leah Yingley. She went missing in February 2017. Her husband was accused of her murder or disappearance. I mean, he's been accused of murder, but it's not really been proven yes or no. But I mean,
Yeah.
She went missing. He comes on board, or he departs with his 2 kids and doesn't report her missing. So it's kind of obvious something mysterious went on there. George Smith, in July 2005, was on a honeymoon, and I believe he was found murdered. Oh, sorry. He was overboard, and that was under mysterious circumstances. Amy Lynn Bradley is another known case. She disappeared in March of 1998. I don't know if you guys have heard of Rebecca Coriam. Actually, it's a very popular case. She actually worked for Disney Cruises. She went missing. They have surveillance showing her missing. The parents are pretty sure that it was foul play involved. Disney's trying to say that she just fell overboard with a wave.
Oh yeah, like a giant one.
Yeah. And when parents, police officers, whoever tried to investigate, all the cruise ship employees were like told they couldn't talk about it. Like, Disney was very hush-hush about everything that went on. They did end up paying the family an undisclosed amount of money later. Yeah, she's never been found. And that's Disney. So, it's a huge corporation, and they have people that can get things done and covered up, unfortunately.
Was it maybe part of the Thanos snap?
Yeah, maybe.
The blip.
Well, it was
Yeah.
2011, so not yet. But
Yeah, March of
Oh
2011.
shit! Okay,
damn
never mind.
Thanos. I know you're trying your Rico case. I get it, but you can't.
Well, I was just thinking, you know, they own the MCU. So.
Yeah. Oh, well, there you go. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
We might actually cover some of these cases at another later date, like more
Some of them
in-depth.
getting a little in depth, but we're
Yeah.
just like skimming the surface. But going back to George, what was that one?
George Smith.
Yeah, that was in 2005. Supposedly, people heard him and his wife arguing the night before, loud noises, and then after they docked, one of the passengers, I think, took a photo of the balcony, and there actually was a smeared,
Oh yes.
blood-stained handprint. So,
You like he was pushed over or something.
right,
Yep.
like he was grabbing or something, and she was like, "See ya."
Yeah. And she actually won't talk to people about it anymore. Like in the beginning, she was very like
Yeah, she
she was helpful, and then
thinks he just fell overboard.
yeah, actually, and then they were on their honeymoon. So like, I mean, you know,
She's like, "What? You're broke?"
in it for the money, or yeah, you're broke. What?
Oh, wow.
I mean, I don't know. I just think
No,
that's
we're just making
horrible.
things up, but it's like, wow, that's like the time to be happy. What the hell?
There's another website, cruiseshipdeaths.com. They keep track of the deaths and causes of deaths. That's kind of an interesting website if you ever have a chance
I take that
to
as
check
like
it out.
independently run, right? Cruise industry has nothing to do with that.
They probably don't want anything to do with that.
No.
Yeah, so
Can you imagine though? Like, you think people who update that site, like maybe who work for it or whatever, you think they just get on a cruise and have the time and just wait for something to happen and they just dig into it, or just
the
tally,
website, the people that
like like on the scene
Oh.
investigators, perhaps. You know,
Yeah.
they just ride these cruises, and if something goes down, I mean, how do you keep tallies on that?
yeah, right. I don't.
Do they put out a survey monkey every time people come back and be like, hey,
Did you witness anything?
did anybody
sinister?
disappear? Yeah.
Right. I don't know.
Well,
That's
so-
interesting.
I saw something that said that there was like 250 disappearances in the last 10 years, which actually is an average of person going missing on a cruise every 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's nuts, right? It makes you want to be like,
There's really no attention to it either. Yeah. Because it's like, who
I mean,
gets
that-
jurisdiction? Like, they don't care. They just...
I mean, at those odds, you might as well just save some money and stay in a La Quinta,
Yeah, right?
And
because they go missing every 3 weeks.
Yeah, right.
so you
Exactly.
got an extra week in there, right?
Right. It works out that way.
It makes you wonder, like, the number of people that are actually on a cruise versus the number of people go missing. Is that related to or similar to that of a normal, like a big city like Chicago? Like, how many people go missing
Mhm.
every week there versus
Right.
on a cruise? You know, like population wise, it's probably pretty similar, I would guess.
The difference is you can comb the territories a lot easier than the ocean. You know, I mean, that's the thing.
Right,
That's
yeah.
what's so terrifying is people go over at night, right? And if they
Nobody knows.
if they survive the fall, I mean, the higher you're up, the impact of the water is like hitting concrete. But imagine surviving that. You're out there. I mean, an average speed of cruise ship is 23 miles an hour. So
It was pretty slow, but
yeah,
if,
I mean,
8 hours later,
right.
somebody figures out
I
you're
mean,
missing.
it's pretty damn terrifying. Like, I guess the thing is maybe just stay inside at night. Don't go outside at all.
Don't go out on those balconies.
Never
at
go
midnight.
out. Just stay in the heart
But
of the ship.
I heard from someone that the balconies was worth the investment.
Right. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know if I'd be out there at midnight with a significant other.
It's not set up that way. It's like inward.
Oh, it's
Oh,
an
wow.
inside balcony.
okay.
Okay.
And there's probably none on the
I'm
outside.
saying like for you to be at the edge of, you're more likely to fall onto the next level before you can even get close
Right.
to the edge of
Of the
the
ship.
boat or the
Yeah.
balcony.
Right. Well, then that
It's not.
exactly, and I think it was with the Disney girl.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you actually, Juan, is what do you think the likelihood is of somebody just falling overboard?
Oh, it's easy.
You think it would be
It's
easy? Yeah? Because according
Yeah,
to
I mean,
a lot of
you have
webs,
to be like on certain levels.
yeah, because a lot of like pictures of ships and stuff, when you look at them, they do look like stair steps almost. The higher up you are, there's like a wider floor below you. You know, like if you fell, you would fall to the floor below you, not off the ship. But that could just be based on some pictures we saw.
And there could be gusts of wind, I guess, that could cause that to happen too. But I would think, and I pretty certain I mean, yeah, even though it's easy to go over, I'm sure they've adjusted as time's gone by, you know, the likelihood of that happening. But
well, they're working on a lot of ships. It's not on all of them, obviously, but a lot of ships are working on like railing monitors, some kind of a railing monitor. So if somebody goes over, it's like you're notified right away. So apparently, unless somebody sees it, it's not very common for it to be documented that it happened or when it happened or whatnot. Or
right.
If somebody does go overboard and the ships do know about it, they don't. The myth is that they don't stop for you. They do. They go back. They circle. They try to find you. You know, they don't want that in their name. On
Of course.
You know, it's not good to have people dying all the time and knowing about it. So they do go back and try to find you.
It's not good for business.
It's not
No.
good for business. Yes, thank you.
A little hush hush.
Well, I was going to ask you, Juan, are you issued like an ID bracelet when you board a cruise, or what? Is there a way they keep tallies, or not tallies, but you know?
How do they know how many went on and how many come off?
Like, do you have any ID on you as you're on the cruise?
It's kind of like when you get on the cruise. It's very similar to like TSA check when you get on a plane. So
What's that like? I don't know.
Oh yeah, you've never been on a plane.
I haven't.
Oh, you gotta go on a plane,
See,
Josh.
that's why he won't go to Vegas.
That's the goal of this show. We'll get me we'll start
Josh,
a Patreon to get me a first class ticket.
Hey Josh, my mom is going on her first plane flight on Monday.
Oh wow!
Tomorrow.
Congrats.
That's
She's
pretty
braver
cool.
than I am.
Yep.
Staying out of Colorado.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
So it's like you
A
said,
little
it's
nervous,
like boarding a
Oh,
plane.
I'm sure.
So they give you like.
Well, you go through TSA checking when you go on a plane. It's very similar on the cruise I went on. You'll go on this like it's like this line, and they'll check you, and then it's something to do with like your carry-on luggage. But I think you keep all your luggage. You don't. Unlike a plane, they'll take half of your luggage, the bigger
Right.
portion of it, and put it in baggage. But I think that's where they tally it. They kind of break you up into multiple groups and blah, 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 and you're with the people you're with. And I wonder if that lets you know what level you're on, if you're like on... There's elevators on those boats, too.
Yeah.
Is there
So it's
several? There's several probably elevators, right? I mean, gotta take you forever to get to your room, probably, if there wasn't.
Right. Well, there's floors. So since there's floors, I think they break you down within the floor you're in.
Oh, I see.
I think you have a better chance of like even if you're going to a resort, if we were to say something like that, you might want to knock someone down if that was the case when you stop at the resort, not so much on the boat. I don't know,
Well,
because you check in a certain way, and if you miss it, you're stuck.
Right.
well, and aren't your room keys? I think your room keys are kind of like your identification too, right?
Yeah, you need your key for everything, and also lets them know if you paid for a drink voucher and all types of stuff. Drinking's the only thing you pay for on your cruise. Food's unlimited. You can stay in your room. Like, as soon as you walk out of your room, you'll come back. Your room's immaculate.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Every single day. They don't hesitate. As soon as you walk out of your room, and you come back, it's like super spotless clean.
Well, who knows? Maybe Disney issues armbands or wristbands. I'm sorry, because they have that in their parks. So it makes you wonder. Because where I was getting at is that'd be a great way to, if you fall overboard, if they get certain distance away, it goes off, and they're like, "Oh shit, we got
That'd
somebody."
be good. I don't know, like.
Of course, if it's easy to
financially.
take off, some stupid kid could probably chuck it in the ocean. And
Well,
What about like
pools.
an air tag from Apple?
an air tag.
Yeah. Have you
Wait.
seen those things?
No.
No.
What's that?
Oh, it's like they're like like tiles where you can put them on your keychain and you can find your keys.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's like the Apple version, but it works with like cell phone towers and shit.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. So you just keep that on you or something.
Then you just
Yeah, so
staple
then
it
you'd
to
be
each
able-
person keeps on there, like cattle.
Yeah.
Just pinch their ear.
Well,
Their
there.
swelling will go down.
Just add it to the vaccine.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
There are some safety alarms that you can get for like swimming pools where, I mean, they're plugged in. Obviously, it would have to be something very, a lot higher tech. But you put a wristband on your kid, and if they fall in the pool, this loud alarm goes off. So, Josh, like you were saying, maybe there's wristbands for your identification, for purchases, things like that. I know. Like when we've stayed at like the Great Wolf Lodge, all 5 of us have had wristbands on, and that's how we paid for things, you know, and whatnot.
It's very slick and very easy to spend a lot of money too.
So yeah, for sure. So that'd be easy for, you know, seems simple that they could put in some kind of a system that if somebody went overboard, it would like know and.
But it makes you wonder if like
people,
there's a greater. They would probably have to have a lot more people go. Well, in quotes, a lot more people, because who knows? They could have botched the numbers, but you know, if you have a lot of people, they would obviously be like, okay, we definitely got to implement these new things that are going to cost a lot.
Yeah, but they don't.
But the industry makes a lot too, so it's like they have the money. It's just
yeah, they do.
There's like 3 major industries I think that own cruise lines.
Yeah, all of them are owned by basically 3 corporations, like Carnival,
Disney, right?
Disney.
There's like celebrity cruises too. Mm-hmm. Like in Practical Jokers, they've had a cruise, and I'm a Star Trek fan. They have Star Trek cruises, so like that would be very interesting because I don't think nerds would kill each other. Maybe they would. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
You know, if you're on one of those Star Trek cruises, then you suffer the wrath of Khan.
That's a good one.
Oh, you like that?
Yes, I do. It's very
see what
good.
I did there?
Yeah.
I used my limited Star Trek knowledge.
But you sounded like you knew a lot, so you actually set yourself up for a 5-hour conversation with the geek. So,
hey.
That's my favorite
movie.
I don't know. I don't think I can handle that.
think
That's when suicides happen.
Oh my gosh. Imagine being on a murder mystery themed cruise, though. That would be scary because they'd probably have like a fake murder and then a real murder would happen. That's perfect timing,
I'd be
right?
like, oh, it's not true.
Yeah.
Oh, it has
it
happened?
actually happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was listening to a video before I got on the call, and I was saying, like, what would you do? And I was like, so these people were like, they were supposed to be doing this murder mystery, and then people were running around, and they were like covered in blood, and then they were like, oh, this is part of the show. And then, nope,
I read that.
some dude bludgeoned his wife.
Whoa.
Like,
Holy
shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Was
in
he?
front of other people.
Yeah.
Was he the guy that he like came out and he went to a bar or something? He was like, I just killed my wife, and they like didn't believe him because they thought it was
love
part
murder.
of. Like there was one where the guy actually was like, I just killed my wife, and they'd been married for like forever in a happy marriage supposedly, but like he was wasted and yeah. Wow. Was that the one, or do you remember?
I don't know. It just said like, it was like horrors on a cruise ship, and it was like, these people were like, hey, this is a good show. It's really realistic. No.
That's like Clue, the movie, or Clue itself,
Knives
I guess.
Out, like actual in real life.
Jeez, man.
Oh, what's that movie that you really like? That we really like? It's like Clue, but like every year somebody gets married and then they have to like try to kill that person.
Oh gosh, I don't remember that movie, but that's a good one.
I can't remember. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, wasn't it like the family has a curse and they have to like play a game?
Yes.
And then she like ends up rolling the hide and seek. It's hide and seek.
Hide and seek. Yeah. Yep.
That's a good one. That is a good one.
And then she just goes ham on everyone.
Yes.
That was awesome.
A horror movie.
It's a dark comedy horror. Yeah.
Super dark comedy.
Science fiction too. I mean, it's all over the place.
Yeah.
But imagine that on a cruise ship.
Oh my god.
That'd be insane.
Yeah.
Because it's just like
hide and seek on a cruise ship. Like, can you imagine that?
Well, you know how they say if you scream in space, no one hears you. I mean, you could probably scream on a cruise and no one's going to hear you.
Or they hear you and they think you're just like an ecstasy or something.
Yeah, probably. Well, especially at night. I mean, Juan, do you recall how many bars are on a cruise ship, or the one you were on? There's got to be more than one, right?
It's kind of like one main bar, but you kind of just order from your room.
Oh, really?
Room service every day, all the time.
Nice.
24/7.
How long does it take to get room service delivered? That has to take some time, right? Unless they probably have a lot of staff.
5-10 minutes at the most.
Really?
I mean, there's like over 2,000 staff members on the average cruise, so like
they have like
to take
crazy service.
Yeah. And they want to have, I mean, they want to give exceptional service, so.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, the amount of cover-ups, though, on ships, like, and the things that happen behind the scenes, like, you know, so, it's kind of off topic, I guess. I don't know. It's still cruise related. If a cruise, worker is found to have intimate relations with a customer, they are kicked off the next port. It doesn't matter where they are. They're like, oh, here you go. You don't get any money or anything. You're just gone. Like, find your own way home. Like, it's a huge deal. However, under the sea where all of them stay,
yeah,
it's like spring break. Everybody's sleeping with everybody. Like, so yeah, it's their rules don't apply to them, obviously, when they're.
So they have morals when it comes to that, but when there's murder or disappearances,
exactly,
like,
right? Yeah.
I'm sure they just ran off, you know.
Yeah.
They're hiding.
So much happens behind the scenes. And you think, like, it'd be kind of cool to be like a cruise worker, right? Like, you get to see the world and stuff, but a lot of them, they're working 70 hours a week. Mm-hmm. They work every single day. They don't have days off. Sometimes they'll get to go, like, on land for, like, 3 or 4 hours, but they have to make sure they're back because that cruise isn't going to wait around for them.
No.
You know, it's just gone. But most of them say they just stay on the ship. They don't. But they do have after hours when they're not working. It's a big party, apparently. They have their own bars. They have their own restaurants, workout rooms, everything. And it's all free to them. So
yeah,
they can, like, beer, alcohol, whatever. It's only like $1.50 for them versus how much it would cost us.
Well, hopefully they take enough time to sober up before they help you. You know, it's like
one of the quotes I read was they every night is like Friday night and every morning is like Monday morning. So, like, that's just crazy, right? Like, oh, that would suck. But yeah,
it's pretty insane.
It's hard to keep track of the days when you're on a cruise, though. You don't know if it's Monday or Wednesday.
Oh, it's like,
or
it's like on vacation, really. I mean, I lose track. But yeah, I imagine that's even more intensified. But yeah, because an average cruise is 7 days, I believe. Is that how long yours was, Rohan?
I think it was about 5, 7.
Yeah.
7.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually like a week or a little
right.
less.
So we probably didn't look this up, but I bet a world cruise, which is much longer, there could be a lot more mysterious shit going on death-wise. Of course,
it's like 3 months long, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, you have older people too, so natural causes, or someone uses that as a excuse, you know.
Well, that's the thing. Like, okay, so say you said that there's a lot of elderly people or older people that take those long cruises. If there's only 2 spots in the morgue for 3 months, I mean, you got to think that more than
they dock many places. I don't think,
but they don't take the bodies. They don't.
Oh.
The bodies
Oh, yeah,
stay,
I guess they wouldn't,
The
would
bodies
they?
stay, according to what I read, the bodies stay with the ship until the ship gets back to its, where it left.
They just throw them underneath the seafood platter in the buffet?
I mean, I guess,
so no one
I don't
notices?
know. Like, I mean, maybe
This thing's got
if
peaks.
they know there's old people and, like, chances of natural cause deaths, they have a bigger morgue? I don't know.
Well, they probably have a butcher.
Oh, nasty.
I'm just adding shit to the... I'm sure it's happened, though. They're like, hey, we're out of meat. And, yeah.
Really? You really think people...
Or they thought it was a cow when it really was a human, and they didn't know.
Oh, they just saw, like, the thigh, and they're like, oh, let's just chop that off.
Yeah, they're like...
You're nasty.
This cow's weird. Well, I didn't do it. Butchers, they butcher. That's what they do. Yeah.
So,
cut corners.
You know, we're all living in the pandemic, trying to get over the pandemic and stuff here. But one thing that is interesting to note, when suicides among cruise workers skyrocketed during the pandemic.
Because they're out of work,
back in
right?
2020. Well, no, that's not even it. So early on, the cruise industry the cruise industry docked their ships and they canceled all the excursions, right? But the staff were not allowed to leave the ships. They actually were forced to stay on the ships for months. Like, some of them were 3, 4, 8 months, like the whole...
Because you're in quarantine? Is that
why?
They
quarantined them, but also, like, they were scheduled to work that time. And, like, I don't know why exactly. I know part of it was quarantine. I know a lot of people did get the virus on the ships, and so like I don't know if it was just hard to like separate the sick from the healthy. I'm not really sure.
Well, I think I do recall some of the earlier quarantines. Yeah,
I do
cruise
know they
ships
did
had to
some
just keep
quarantines.
people in there, and
But like for months, like it just seems crazy that they were kept for months. But they weren't allowed to leave the boat. They're forced to stay on board and primarily in their cabins, which
cabin fever.
their cabins didn't have windows. Like you got to remember, they're
That'd mess with your mind.
below
Yeah.
the sea. There's no windows. There's a small bed or two. Like most of the time you share a cabin with somebody, and the bed isn't even as big as a twin bed, like super tiny. They might have a fridge or a small desk, but like there's pretty much nothing in these cabins. So they're basically in a jail cell for months. Might be allowed to leave 1 or 2 times a day. But that's it. And so suicide skyrocketed. I mean, there's several stories on the internet that you can find
Because
about why people, why they did it or how they were found and whatnot. But yeah, like their mental, I mean, can you imagine like our mental health? We're out, we can see out, we can see our family, or we can Skype. Like even the internet wasn't very good. So like even like seeing people and things like that.
Well, and calling your
talking to
job,
people.
right, to try and secure it, and a lot of them probably couldn't, right? Because they're like, well, we have to,
Well, no, I mean their job is the cruise ship, so.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were also talking about like.
No, I'm
guests
just
on a
talking.
cruise ship.
I'm just talking about the
gotcha.
workers.
Yeah.
Not being allowed to leave,
Yeah.
And I mean that's just crazy to me. Like I know my mental health last year was like it went down a lot. Like my kids did. I can imagine being stuck on a ship for months and only having your roommate to talk to, and not being able to go out and even see the sky. Like I can't even imagine. So yeah, many suicides have happened, or they think they were suicides. There may have been murders in that too. Can you imagine? Like you got to get along with your roommate for 8 months and you really don't like them,
if they're all doing each other, it's probably jealousy.
Exactly.
Like I thought we had something, Rebecca, and I'm gonna kill Carl and her. And
there's actually a case where a lady, she did find out she was pregnant, and so she went to the nurse and stuff. She wasn't feeling well, the nurse or the doctor, I'm not sure what it was, on board, and she's like, I just need some vitamins, and they don't, obviously they don't have any prenatal care or anything like that on a ship. They didn't even have vitamins to give her, any kind of medication, but she did finally get off the ship before she gave birth, but in September, I think. But like being pregnant, your mental state is not good anyway, and then to not have any kind of health care available to you would just be hard. So I'm glad we're getting past that. Obviously there's ships going out now and cruises are happening again, I believe, and whatnot.
And yeah, I mean, for the most part, people have fun. Like, Juan had fun, and everything's good, golden.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's these creepy cases where
I plan on doing it again.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask. Like, I've never been on a cruise, but I really want to. Like, I don't think I could survive the ocean if I fell over, but I think it would be great fun.
I'd like to do an Alaskan cruise. I think.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
What about you, Dave? Any thoughts of going on a cruise?
Especially
Yeah,
now.
I mean, if I could ever take a vacation, I probably would. Yeah,
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be
that's
fun.
my first step.
Make it a business transaction. Next to 6 Cruise Line.
Yeah, tell the fighter guys, hey, get me on a cruise and I'll help you out. Yeah, like I think it'd be fun. Like, I mean, okay, so Disney cruise sounds like a blast for your kids, right? Like we got 3 kids, it'd be so much fun to take them. But then I hear about how corrupt they are, I guess, really, and it's like, oh, I don't know.
That's scary.
Yeah.
Some of the tackle down the road, amusement parks.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff happens in amusement parks, especially Disney, I bet.
I'm sure.
Disney might be the worst. Who knows?
It probably is. Disney staff and things they're told to keep a lot of secrets, I think. I don't know. I would still go on a cruise, even though I've heard this. I trust my husband. I don't think he's going to kill me.
No.
I mean,
If we're bottled up for a while.
Aw.
I mean, it would be the perfect crime, honestly, though. Like,
It would be because
if you
there's
knew
no
there
evidence.
wasn't a camera, like, yeah, and there's nobody to keep track. Like, there's security on board of cruise ships, of course, but there's no police, and they don't really well, I'll go into that more in depth later at a later date when we talk about some of these murders and disappearances. But like, nobody knows who's in charge because you're out in national open waters, open seas, and it's like, okay, you're from the U.S., but you're in Mexico or like Mexican waters or whatever. Who's in charge of you at that point? Like, and a lot of times too, the ships are owned or like I guess it's a license is on like foreign countries where it's a lot cheaper to license these ships, but yet they come to the U.S. and then they take people wherever. And so is it where the ship is licensed that is in charge? Is it where the incident happens? Like, nobody wants to take ownership of it,
yeah,
you know?
yeah. They just
It's like,
point
well, that's not my
fingers,
body.
like,
You need to go talk to you need to go talk to Jordan over there. And he's like, well, I don't know what the hell to do with
Jordan's
that
an
body.
asshole.
You know, like nobody wants to take ownership of it. So, and even getting, if you have a loved one that passes, even getting the body back from the cruise line can take a long time and be a big issue. So it's kind of crazy. So
Well, I think there's some instances where the security footage, it was like old technology, like VHS, and some of it actually was disabled, I believe, in some cases.
I'm sure, yeah.
Like, who knows if they update it like they should, but...
So, I mean, I guess if you go on a cruise ship, you just hope and pray that it'll
just
be
stay with
fun
somebody.
and
Stay with somebody that's not going to kill you, for one. Yeah.
you never know who's going to kill you, though.
Well, true.
I mean, you
They
know.
might be friendly here so they can't kill you.
Right, exactly. Like, you don't know.
Just what do they call it? Vlog? Just YouTube?
Oh, yeah, video, log,
Constantly
everything.
be like, hey, I'm at the bar. Hey, this is my balcony. And,
That's great if you're live, but what if, you
I'm
post
using
later?
the restroom right now.
yeah. Check out these toilets and put a pool noodle
I
down
just
them.
flushed a pool noodle.
Let's try a turkey leg.
Pretty much.
Oh my goodness. Oh yeah. Well, there's some stories too about that. Like, if the ships lose power, the toilets don't work apparently, and they back up. And I don't know how or why.
They just
that
prairie
happens.
dog it out the balcony?
No,
or-
but this is nasty, you guys, and you can cut this if you want.
Get your
but-
umbrellas.
Yeah, for real. They said there's like shit going down the walls of rooms. Like, isn't that? I'm like, what the?
That wallpaper's an interesting
like it?
choice. Oh no, that's something else.
What is that smell? Oh,
Isn't this fun, kids?
Taco Bell cruise line.
right. Like, it's just crazy. Yeah.
Is that beans or poo? I don't know.
Yeah. They.
For Taco Bell,
What was that?
except for Taco Bell, worth the risk.
Worth the risk.
Worth the risk.
Yes.
Oh yeah. There's some crazy stuff. If you look up unknown facts and things, there's some crazy stuff. But
Yeah.
I'd still go. We'll go someday.
Yeah.
We'll make him go.
Josh, you're gonna get on a plane. You're gonna get a cruise.
I'm getting on a plane
You're
to
gonna
fly
actually
to
take
the port where the ship
So you're
is.
going to go on the cruise, and then-
yeah, I'm gonna get murdered. It's gonna be great. Any final thoughts about the cruise industry? Anything else that you guys researched you want to share? Whatever.
Anything you
wanna do.
learned from this?
Well, there was an article I did read on like murder that happened, and I guess if you're a criminal. I don't know if it's starting off right. But, basically, the guy wanted financial gain. He wouldn't lose any more money from his significant other or something like that. It's hard to understand, but he had an affair or whatever. So he strangled his wife and threw her overboard. And he was a lawyer, so they were saying he basically would have got away with it if he didn't strangle her.
Did they find her because she had air pockets in her clothes and she was floating?
She was basically, because he strangled her, she never had the opportunity to really ingest a bunch of water, so she was floating.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, and if he wouldn't have strangled her, she would have fought, which would have kept the air pockets out of her clothing, and she would have drowned versus being strangled first. She just floated, and they were able to find her right away.
So
You're better
Yeah.
off knocking your person out than strangling them.
Not that we want to encourage
Yes.
this, but
No, not that's it. It comes off wrong. Stuff like that.
yeah, I know.
I know. Yeah, not that we want to encourage that, but if you wanted to kill somebody, don't strangle him, just throw him overboard.
Don't strangle them. That's like too much. Like we're like it sounds like we're like criminal health shop or something. Like, convention of criminals, you know. Like,
Don't do it, but if you do,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
thank the super unknown.
No.
Oh, don't do that. No.
I have no idea where you
You know how
heard
many
this
views we would get?
information.
It'd be crazy.
Oh, man. What about you, Dave? Anything? Any last thoughts?
Just planning a cruise, actually.
You're planning a cruise?
Yeah, I'm going to take some staff member. We need to have a talk about reducing the positions at the office.
Oh, man.
I'll pretend I didn't hear that.
Yep, don't know what they're talking about. When the cops come to talk to us, we don't know anything about that.
Right.
Oh, man. Oh, but nobody's going to come talk to us because there's no jurisdiction on the cruise, right?
Exactly.
Oh, man, this has been fun, guys.
Yeah, this was fun. Thanks for being on.
Yeah, sure.
Really appreciate it. Yeah,
Hey.
very interesting. Learned a lot. I still feel like I would like to go on a cruise, but when I'm on there, yeah, I don't know. I guess I just won't get out too much in the evening. Let's say.
What about
flares
if you
on
were
me?
going to take what if you were going to take a cruise and so you took a plane to get to the cruise,
Mhm.
but then you parachuted out of the plane onto the cruise?
Wow, that's like a lot off my bucket list. If that was on my bucket list.
I'm pretty sure parachuting is not on your bucket list.
No, it's not.
No skydiving.
I'd probably slam right into the door or the balcony. And then my smeared bloody handprint would just slide down.
Sounds like a great time to be on a cruise, you know?
Yeah.
Or right now it's probably a great time. I'm guessing they're not as busy as they used to be.
We should all go and then get a bullhorn and just, broadcast statistics about disappearances and death from the balcony.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So
Yeah. We could just broadcast this podcast during the.
There you go. Yeah, cruise line wouldn't like that too well.
Yeah. They'd probably
throw us overboard.
throw us over.
We'll be back, of course. I'm Josh.
I'm Juan.
I'm Dave.
I'm Stephanie.
Yay! Take care, everybody. Book your cruise.
Thanks, guys.